If your goal is to make $10,000 in 30 days, you need to watch this video. Because in this video, I'm going to break down the simple process myself and plenty of other successful people use to make thousands and thousands of dollars like it's pennies. So as you can see on my screen right there, I put some proof. Just to show you, I'm not just a guy in his mother's basement making videos about stuff he doesn't understand. So when you execute this process correctly, that's the kind of notifications you're able to see. As you can see, like that was money sent to my account. And I couldn't even put like all the pictures in there because at the end of the day, I'm just putting some pictures here, like I said, to show you this stuff is real. But I know that no matter how much proof I show, for some people, it's not gonna be enough. They will say that all of that is fake. If that's what you think, click off this video, stay broke, it's not my problem. Now let's move on. So to thank you, when we get to 30,000 YouTube subs, I'm going to be giving away $2,000 of my own money. So to win that money, all you need to do is to watch the video until the end, to subscribe and to share it with a friend to push it in the algorithm so we can help more people to start a profitable online business and break down all of the myths about making money online. Because this stuff I'm sharing with you, it took me years to figure out. So the first thing I want you to understand so that you can actually make 10K in 30 days or even in general $10,000 per month, it's that in any business, whether it's a brick and mortar business, like if it's a gym, or even if it's an online business, like you're doing dropshipping, or you sell services, or coaching offers, or digital products, whatever it may be, every single business in the world, every corporation, regardless of the size of the business, follows these three elements. The first is traffic. So what it means pretty simply is getting eyeballs in front of your offer. Because you could have the best product in the world, the best service in the world, but if nobody even knows about it, you're not gonna make any money. Which is why traffic is literally step number one. It's extremely important. Without it, you go nowhere and you make no money. Now what comes after traffic is a sales mechanism. And the thing that most people don't understand is that depending on how much traffic you get in the first place, you will need to use a different sales mechanism. So for example, I'm going to show you exactly in detail, but lots of people, they try to make money the same way that the big famous influencers are doing, and then they fail miserably. Why? Because they're not huge famous influencers. Therefore, they pick the wrong sales mechanism, and that keeps them broke for years. And I know because I made the mistake myself. The third thing is the fulfillment mechanism. It's how you're going to deliver what you're selling. So first traffic, then we need a sales mechanism, and then a fulfillment mechanism. And all of that is what makes us a lot of money. That's it. If you can do these three things, you're gonna make a lot of money. This is literally business 101. Now you may be wondering, okay, that sounds amazing, but what does it actually look like in practice? Well, let me show you. So here, as you can see the process and the math, I'm going to take a look at two different business models, and maybe with these pictures, you can already guess which business models I'm going to analyze. If you can, let me know in the comments down below. But the first business model, if you haven't guessed it already, it's dropshipping. So dropshipping, if you're not aware, it simply means reselling. Typically, it's products from AliExpress or Wish. So you create your own website using Shopify, and then to get customers, you run some Facebook ads or you work with some influencers. And that's how you get leads, that's how you get traffic on your sales page. And then some people buy. And the big pro of dropshipping is that the fulfillment mechanism is actually pretty simple, at least on paper, because you don't need to have an inventory. You don't need to keep a stock of your product. All you need is to make the website, find the product first of course, make the website, get some traffic, and then when people buy, automatically the product from AliExpress will be shipped out to the customers. So it is the most risk-free e-commerce opportunity, because to start an e-commerce brand, let's say you wanted to start selling some clothes, or let's say you wanted to start selling some jewelry, you could absolutely do that. E-commerce is a booming business. You can make hundreds of millions of dollars and even sell your brand for $1 billion. And nowadays, more than ever, more and more people buy online. But the problem is, when you want to start an e-com brand, it requires so much upfront capital, it's insane. At least 50K to 100K just to get started. So not even to make it successful, to get started. But with dropshipping and AliExpress and Wish, it removed this barrier to entry because you didn't need 50K to 100K just to get started. Like I said, all you had to do was to spy on the competition, to find the winning products, which were basically cool and trendy products. So like for example, a fidget spinner, or like the rose bears for Valentine's Day. Let me show you. So as you can see, that was a very popular dropshipping product, rose bears. But I'm sure that you can understand that the problem with dropshipping is that Your products, they're seasonal. So that sells really well for Valentine's Day. But let's say you were selling sunglasses or things like that. Who's going to buy sunglasses in the winter? Or let's say you were selling fidget spinners. Who's going to buy fidget spinners right now? The trend is dead. And so one of the big problems with dropshipping, for example, is that since you're always basing your store on a trend, you always need to recreate other stores, and you never actually build a real e-commerce brand that lasts through time. You never benefit from exponential growth. Because here is what I really want you to understand. In anything in life, but especially in business, growth is exponential. So as you can see, let's do a chart. Let's say this is time, and on the other side of the chart you have results. So if you started a dropshipping store, you'd probably get results like that. And then boom, it dies. But if you started, on the other hand, an e-commerce store, you would get results like this. So you see the huge difference? One is exponential growth, the blue one, and one is linear growth, the red curve. And so while linear growth is better in the short term, long term, well, as you can see, everything falls apart. Whereas with exponential growth, it keeps growing and growing and growing. And that's one of the problems with dropshipping. So my story with dropshipping is that I basically tried it with one of my friends in high school, and we were both broke, you know. We just saw the gurus online telling us to do dropshipping, and it would make us rich, supposedly. And so we spied on the competition and found our winning product, a flat squeeze mop, but we only made one sale, and we spent so much money on Facebook ads, like thousands of dollars. All of that to only get one sale. But so with this business model, that's the process. You find a product, build a Shopify store, you create some ads, or you pay some influencers to promote your products. Some people happen to see your ad or like the post of the influencer. They're like, this looks interesting. Let me check it out. They check out your website and they think, oh, this product looks interesting. But most people don't even buy. But the people who do buy your products, like they buy the product, boom, that's it. The product gets shipped from AliExpress directly. So technically you don't worry about it. But let's say you were selling a $50 product, okay? A $50 product. How much is actual profit? So let's say with your dropshipping business, you managed to make $10,000. Wow. It's impressive. Most people never make 10K per month. But in profit, how much do you get to keep? Because what matters, and the big trap that most people fall for, is optimizing for revenue when what actually matters is profit. A lot of your big favorite influencers, they're actually broke because they optimize for how it looks. They optimize for revenue, not for profit. I don't have a Rolex, I don't have a Ferrari. That's because I optimize for profit, not for how it looks or for revenue. And the saddest thing in my opinion is when you make it, you become successful, you make some money, but then you're forced to spend your money that you've worked so hard to earn on things that you don't want at the moment just because you feel like you've got something to prove to strangers, people who won't even remember your name, people that are only interested in what they have to gain from associating themselves with you. So you made $10,000. Congratulations. But with dropshipping, only 5% to 20% if you're lucky is actual profit. Meaning out of $10,000 you initially made, you would only keep $500 to $2,000, which is nothing. But that's not all, because you've got to pay taxes too, unless maybe you live in Dubai. But for most of us, let's be honest, it's not the case. So you made $500 to $2,000 at the maximum, because you made 10K. But how much do you actually keep? Taxes for corporations, it's typically about 25% in most countries. So let's do the math together. So after tax, you would only keep $375 to 1.6K. And remember, that's taxes that you paid as a business. That doesn't even include any dividend tax or income tax that you will have to pay yourself as an individual. So yeah, initially you made $10,000, it's impressive. But at the end of the month, you make less money than somebody working full-time at a fast food joint. And you might be asking me, well, what if I made $100,000? Then you would make way more. You would make $5,000 to $20,000. So it's a lot of money for sure. But most people never even make 10K, so let alone $100K per month with a dropshipping store or any kind of business model. But that's basically the math. Now, something that's very important for you to understand is that, remember, we talked about the sales mechanism and traffic. When you sell a product on a sales page, so for example, you've got your product on your Shopify store and people can click on a button to buy. And then they make the transaction, you get the money, they get the product. Everybody's happy. The thing is, with sales pages, typically only about 0.2% of visitors actually become buyers. So it's really not a lot. So if you only get 100 visitors, you don't even get one sale. 0 sales. because 0.2% of 100, you're not going to make any sales. Now let's take a look at a different business model. This business model is selling services or coaching offers. And let me show you why this is the best business model ever and why it allows you to print money on demand. So first, in this business, you need an offer, then you need traffic, sales, and of course, delivery. So to give you examples of a few different offers, you could do fitness coaching, for example. Fitness. You could do lead generation. You could do dating coaching. You could help people to overcome addiction. As long as you can help somebody to overcome a painful problem, whether it's through a service to a business or directly coaching to an individual, you can charge a lot of money for it and you can help people to completely transform their lives. So let me show you how it works. You have your offer, let's say for example fitness coaching, or you help businesses to generate more leads. You make valuable content on social media to attract your ideal customers to you. Then you invite people on a free call to learn more. And on that call, if the prospect that you have is a good fit for what you have to offer, you make them an offer. It's really that simple. And some people become paying customers. Typically about 20% of all people that you speak to on a call become paying customers and work with you. But remember, if you were having a sales page with a button to buy, only 0.2% of people actually become paying customers. Whereas when you talk to people, 20% of people actually decide to become paying customers. Can you see the difference? The difference is 100x. You convert 100 times better with a meeting than you do on a simple sales page like that. Now, obviously, you wouldn't sell a $50 product, like some kind of $50 sunglasses or whatever, with a call. It makes no sense. But the reason why we need a call with this business model is because we sell high-ticket products and services, typically between 1K to 10K plus. But if you wanted to make $10,000 per month with some business like dropshipping, you were selling, let's say, a $50 product, you would need 200 customers per month. That's a lot of people to convince to pay you. And sometimes people think, oh, but surely it's easier to convince more people to pay a smaller price. But that's not the case. People who pay the least, they're the most troublesome. They expect everything out of nothing. They're completely delusional. Not all of them, of course. But a lot of the time, people who pay the least, they don't pay attention. They don't get results because they're not invested. Now, on the other hand, let's say you were selling a 1K service or coaching offer, fitness coaching, lead generation service, whatever it may be. You only need 10 clients to be making 10K per month. And now you may be wondering, okay, that sounds amazing. Only 10 or even 5 clients if I sell a 2K offer to make 10K per month. But how much is actual profit? Because like you said, at the end of the day, revenue doesn't matter. What matters is how much I have in my bank account at the end of the month. Well, let's do the math together. Let's say you made 10K selling services or coaching offers. Your profit margins are 95%, meaning you get to keep $9,995. Now, sometimes as you scale up, your profit margins might drop a little. That's okay, but they will never drop below 70%. Me, currently, my profit margin, it's about 90 to 95%. That's it. 90 to 95%. So when I showed you earlier, when I make over 1.5K, and that's in euros, so in dollars it's slightly more, I get to keep 95% of it. With dropshipping, you would only keep a few $100, if anything at all. And even if you do pay taxes on top of that after, well, on $9,995, let's say you pay your 25% corporate tax, you are left with $7,500 per month. Whereas with dropshipping, remember, 300 something to 1.6K when you made 10K initially. And that's how plenty of dropshipping gurus fool you and they pretend dropshipping is the best business model for beginners. It's not. I'm gonna be honest with you. You can make a lot of money with any business model. Dropshipping, services, coaching, digital products, courses, literally anything. Even with brick and mortar businesses, like gyms, like restaurants, like hair salons. But there's better business models than others. Literally, we did the math together. If you still think dropshipping or selling low-ticket products is the best way to make money, you are completely deluded. Ask yourself, how much money do you have at the end of the month? If you're making less than 10K per month, you don't know what you're talking about. And that's exactly my next point. That's exactly why you're not at 6 figures a year online yet. And this should be in red, in fact. Ask yourself this question. How come I'm not yet making 6 figures per year online? Even though I watch so many videos on how to make money online. It's because you don't know what to do. Because if you did, you would already be making 10k plus per month. So I know it can be extremely confusing to know exactly what to do. But if you follow this process, offer, traffic, sales and delivery, you are going to make way more than 10k in 30 days. All you need is a high ticket offer, sell something for 1k to 10k. And obviously if you're a beginner, you don't think you have any skills or anything, you won't sell an offer for 10k. But you can sell an offer for 1k. That's what I started off by doing back in 2022. I was doing lead gen for businesses and I started off with 1k. Then I increased my prices. And then traffic. You need to post free valuable content on social media to attract your ideal customers to you. Now this is becoming a mess, look at all of that. And then there's sales. And the way that you sell people, remember, is on a meeting. Because 20% of people become paying customers. Whereas on the sales page, only 0.2% of people actually buy. So in a meeting, yes, it takes you more time, but you charge higher prices, you get a higher quality of customers, you have more fun while doing it, because it can be pretty lonely at some point. If you just do this in your bedroom or like in your office, and you've got no one to speak to all day, it gets pretty damn boring. It gets lonely. And I say that I'm an introvert, so normally talking to people isn't my jam. In fact, in the past, I used to deal with social anxiety because of traumatic stuff that happened in my past, but I overcame it so I could become successful. And then of course you need to deliver that service or your offer. Now if you deliver a coaching offer, it's very easy to deliver because you could have a training program with weekly calls. But if you don't have a training program yet, all you need to do is to do one-on-one coaching, for example. That's it. If you do a service, it's a bit more complex because you've got to do it for them or do it with them. But it's not the hardest thing in the world. And hoping to make 10k per month or even 100k per month and never do anything hard is completely delusional. So as always, you have two choices. You can try to figure everything out on your own, but if you do this, you will most likely stay broke because nothing changes if nothing changes. And if you try to do everything alone, the amount of mistakes you're gonna make is insane. Or you can simply book a free call with me or my team and we'll see if we can actually help you to build or to start your business. On that call, we'll help you to gain clarity on the next step you need to take to move forward in your journey so that you can actually make 10k per month and even more with an online business. Now, I do have to mention, we have extremely limited spots and they fill up very quickly. So book your call before there's no more spots left. And with that being said, I will be waiting for you on the other side.